You know, baby, they call me the Troll Warlord. But I'm tired of making war. I want you to call me Troll Love Lord. I feel a fervor coming, girl. I'm tired of toggling. I'm ready to settle down with you. Let me blind you. Let me blind you with my love. I'm gonna hang up my axes. I'm gonna lay down with you. No more toggling. No more troll warlord. No, girl. Troll love lord.
This is Roland from Defense of the Patients, a Dota 2 podcast. We'd like to thank you for listening, and we hope you're enjoying our content. If you are, tell a friend. Find .p on defenseofthepatients.com or go to iTunes to download the show and leave a comment. We will read the best on the show. Also, you can go to Facebook and give us a like. Sincerely, from everybody here on the show, thank you for listening to .p.
Hey everybody, welcome to yet another episode of Defense of the Patients, a Dota 2 podcast. I'm your host Cyphus, sitting here with my co-host who's wetting his whistle, Roland.
Hello, everybody.
Sexual episode this episode.
Oh my god. No, it's not, but it's probably safe to click the box that says mature.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
content or whatever.
You got Troll Love Lord bringing it in.
Yeah, Troll. Oh, Troll Love Lord. Yeah, he did bring it in. I forgot. That intro was hilarious.
And then a little surprise visit from Postmaster Wazoo after our guest.
It's not a surprise visit now.
Well, it's
we're gonna have a little surprise visit.
You know,
that's
that
like,
negates the surprise.
Yeah.
When I announce the surprise,
we're gonna have a visit from Postmaster Wazoo now. You know, so
yeah. Right after we chat with Ursinity.
Wow, you don't have to tell him
where.
Well,
we gotta announce the guest as well.
Well, we don't have to say, like, chronologically where in the episode. I want you to listen to the whole thing.
I hope you guys know that is not happening. I was just trying to set it up so that you'd be surprised when it actually happens at another time in the show.
When did you say it happens?
At the very beginning of the show. It already happened.
Yeah,
you gotta rewind.
You gotta rewind to the start. Did you say like the hello thing and with
I mean I didn't do plugs. I mean, but you know, we've been doing plugs at the bottom of the show. I like that better.
Yeah. And, you know.
But I will thank you guys for listening and for telling a friend and letting folks know about the podcast.
Yeah, definitely. We are growing rapidly. It's pretty cool. People apparently like our loving arms, which is the .p community. Which I realized this week, that's the coolest fucking thing about all of this.
Yeah.
Look at this goddamn community.
I feel like you realize that every week, though.
I'm not being like sappy, like, I love everybody, but it's like, there's like a colony growing, dude. Like, we're almost a town, and then who knows, maybe we can become a metropolis.
Someday. The metropolis of guilds.
Yeah, I mean, we have a really cool guild. Cool. We got a new guild leader. It will be announced later. And
we'll save all the guilds. Yeah, you'll hear about the guild stuff that's going on with Ursi.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the next bit, you've been doing some set giveaways.
Yeah. Easy messaged me, and he's like, "Oh man, I've given away like 6 sets," and I was like, "Oh, what are you having people do for the sets or whatever? Like, are you having give you lore or anything like that?" And he's like, "I'm just asking if they want it." And I was like, "That's the fucking best way to give a set away possible." So I've just been randomly in the guild asking, and I'll continue to do this. I still have the Disruptor Very Rare I'll save that one to give it away. Just make sure you're in the guild chat, and I just...
Yeah, so all you have to do to give the sets away now these days is gift wrap, right?
Yeah, and if you read what I ask, it's very little of you for these sets. I literally have been asking people, do you want a set? And they're like, yeah. And then I add them to a friend, and I say, okay, I have a PA, I have a PL, I have this, I have that. Which set would you prefer?
Well,
so I've been
very generous.
Well, it's cool. I'm trying to give back.
Well, we're going to be giving a set away this episode for sure.
Oh, Worst Way to Die.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's been so long since we've done Worst Way to Die.
I know, and it feels wrung.
I'm sure there are people that listen to this
that may not know what it is.
Know what Worst Way to Die is.
Well, should we do Worst Way to Die now at the top of the show?
Yeah, let's start the show with Worst Way to Die.
All right. Well, while I'm pulling them up, why don't you explain to anybody who might be new to the show what we do?
Okay, so Worst Way to Die is literally the worst way to die in Dota 2. Sound off. Click. We are looking for unique and funny ways, or sometimes awfully painful ways, that you die in Dota 2. For example, there's been Ice Shard in the Fountain, which that seems a little bit even regular in comparison to some that we have been getting. You go ahead and you tweet at @DotP_show your worst way to die, and you will definitely make it on the show. We are reviving a segment that I didn't know died, but kind of did.
Yeah, I think we
just kind of walked away from us, and we're like, hey, you come back here. Like, that was pretty good.
Yeah, so we're going to send out tweets. Just if you want to follow us on Twitter at @P_show, we'll announce before we record that we're going to be doing these, and you just either tweet us or email us your worst way to die.
And here's how you win. Seeing as it's 2 of us now instead of 3, there can't be, if there's a tie, as in if I think X is funny and Cyphus thinks Y is funny, then tiebreaker is decided by Easy Mark Easy, who he thinks is the funniest. So I don't know. We'll about to do it. In the case of that
phone
happening.
Him up on Twitter, on Skype.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Do.
Yeah. Wow. Maybe we will have to call him. Anyway,
right. Well,
he will be the decider.
Shall I read the candidates?
Sure.
All right. The first comes from Quantum Stats, and that's at Quantum_Stats.
Okay.
He says, when your team is balling out of control and the enemy tree gets Ag's Refresher, and you proceed to get held for literal eons.
That does suck. Yeah. But that's the worst way for like a team to die.
Which is arguably one of the worst ways you could die.
Yeah.
As a team.
Watching your whole team. I've never seen Refresher.
Watching your enemy or your allies just fall around you.
That's really cool.
Let's see. The next comes from our buddy Wyatt Turner at Opaka Dota on Twitter. He says, how about when you die as Weaver, rage buyback, and then ult to your doom?
That is the worst button you can press. That ult button on Weaver, and then you're like, God damn it. I was like barely getting away, and now I'm full health, but I'm in the middle of 5 people. That's a pretty terrible way to die.
Yeah.
Okay.
And finally, the next comes from Bunny at Bunny Dota.
Okay. He's from We Like Dota.
Yeah, that's what you were just telling me.
I like We Like Dota. By the way,
I listened to several episodes of them way back, right before I went on my audiobook kick.
Yeah, and you're listening to The Thrones.
Yeah, I don't think we've discussed that on the show yet.
He's my friend in Steam. Bunny.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
He's on my friends list. So I feel like A-list, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I got Bunny
sure.
on my friends list. I've yet to play a game with Bunny though. That'd be fun. I think he's on the show. I'm sure. Pretty sure. Anyway.
You were the one who told me that Bunny was.
He's with We Like Dota.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Well, what Bunny says about the worst way to die is, worst way to die in Dota equals being surprised when the whole enemy team activates Blade Mail right when you use a Coddle's Illuminate.
Whoa. Talk about cool way to die. That's... if the whole team... He must be good, then. Because I've yet to see a team that's like, all right, everybody's going to get Blade Mail. We're all going to stand here. Wait for that dude to send his horses and then pop our Blade Mails off. That's a crazy way of dying.
Yeah, that would suck.
That's where my vote goes.
that's a tough one because I feel for the tree one, but it doesn't pull.
Remember, we were
enough,
saying specificity. You gotta be specific. You have to be.
The
specific.
Weaver sounds really painful, and that sounds like a really dough moment, like dough. Like an idiot,
That's a bit, but yeah.
All right.
Could you imagine? You're just coddled, dude. You're just a magician on a horse riding around. Then all of a sudden you die.
It's probably not even your fault. They're probably all turning on blade mail because of another, because of your carry,
or
most likely.
Unless they, are out of range, but they know it's there.
And if you get that charging and if
it's like max and it's charging, I mean, you don't have a big health pool.
Well, and you couldn't stop it if you saw it happen either.
Nope, you could stop it sooner, so it did less damage. But you could.
All right. Bunny wins. I'm with you.
Okay, so Bunny, you won the new Spring Blossom Phantom Lancer set. The reason I'm giving you that one is because we can't trade other little knick-knacky things, unfortunately, anymore. So I have to gift a whole entire set. You just won that set, sir, and you're already my friend, so I will send it your way. If you are wondering why you get it, gotta listen to the episode, Bunny.
That's right.
You gotta listen to the episode, because I'm just gonna send it to you.
And we'll send out a tweet as well that he's the winner.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I guess including everybody who mentioned. Thank you, Opaka. Thank you, Quantum Stats.
Yeah. We appreciate all the submissions, and feel free to send us others. In fact, you have some, or one pops up, or just a really great but terrible moment happens. Shoot it our way in advance, and then maybe that'll remind us to do another Worst Way to Die. And send out some more.
Well, we'll just start doing them because we tweeted about 2 hours before we started recording.
Yeah, probably.
So we'll start giving more
in
advance. It was just kind of like today I was thinking about it, and then Cyphus came over and we're about to record. I'm like, dude, we stopped doing Worst Way to Die. I don't think that's dead.
I'm with you. It's fun to think about those terrible, terrible moments that are possible in Dota 2.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of terrible moments in Dota 2. I had just it's been a miserable 2 weeks for me.
For your Dota?
So I went back and I don't know why I do these things because I don't know, half a sadist and, or no, I guess a masochist. And also I have some sort of terrible disease. No, yeah. Well, no, I mean masochist because I went back and added.
No, the sadist part.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I'm a sadist. Yeah. I went and added all of my MMR losses just to see what I actually lost throughout the course of the week.
And just to waste a little bit of time.
Yeah, and to be fair, and then I threw in the 2 wins that happened to be there just to see how they counterbalanced
you added those instead of subtracted.
Yep, yeah. Followed the proper order of operations for everything.
Thank you.
And
I thank you for upholding the mathematical law.
Yeah, I did. And 350 points decline.
Cool. So does that mean you're a 2,000 player?
Oh God, no.
I'm plus and minus x plus 350, where x is where I'm plus or minus another 600.
The worst of it culminated with a 10-game losing streak over the course of about 7 days.
Yeah, see, I wasn't in a losing streak. I lost all the games with you. I mean, every single game was played with me, and that's why it's I think a phrase should be you want to lose a game, play with Cyphus, or something like that.
Yeah.
A phrase.
A phrase.
I don't know,
be a turn of phrase.
Maybe something that's a little more eloquent than that,
Yeah.
But
we won't put that on my billboard.
But
need a loss? Call Cyphus.
Yeah, in a pickle, Cyphus won't help. You know what I mean? Something like that, Yeah, you lost a lot of games. I was winning a lot of games, though, at the same time. I was winning as Timbersaw. And I mentioned this later in the episode, but, I've been only playing 1 or 2 heroes. I have literally decided, and it's a lot to do with Ursinity, that I'm going to focus. And I think what I want my 5 to be, and it's offlane is my position, is Nature's Prophet, Bristleback, Timbersaw, Elder Titan, because I think he's a really cool offlane.
Really?
Yes.
I'm surprised to hear you say that.
Elder Titan, he can do some magical shit.
What are Ursi's thoughts on you
playing Elder Titan?
Yeah, on Elder Titan being in your main rotation.
I don't know if I've talked to him explicitly about Elder Titan.
I'd like to hear what you think. I'm not coming at this from like any sort of bias. Like I just legitimately don't know.
Yeah.
What kind of team comps you'd want to build with him, or that he's a hero we just don't see very frequently.
Yeah, he isn't a hero we see. But then to give myself some versatility in the offlane, Puck. I'm going to focus on Puck, a Puck offlane, which apparently it's a very hard thing to do. But that's why it's like, I want to do it. I want to be good at it.
You like skill heroes, and then you get a little bread and butter with your bristleback.
Yeah, and so I have, when drafting, I have those bristlebacks. I have the Timbersaw. I have, the safe picks, the easy picks. And then I have the niche picks as well.
Yeah, I mean, Timbersaw,
I feel like, he is hard countered by quite a few heroes. There are heroes that do damage over time. His reactive armor doesn't really help. I don't know, really, really, really hardcore right clickers can take him down pretty quickly. But
I feel like I never see him dominate, and this includes you and anybody I see play.
But that's offlane. You're not.
I know, but I mean, I feel like I never see him come into his own or do anything until way late game.
It depends. It depends on how good of a Timbersaw you are, because yes, he does come into his stride later game when you
only if we're winning. It seems like too.
I feel like I've had so I'm a 70 now. I'm in more than 75% win rate with him over 16 games. So I played 16 games. I've won 11. I've lost 5. So if they're whatever that is, a pretty good win rate. And I feel like even on a losing game, I still can do pretty well. I can still get my Bloodstone. It's just not at 16 minutes opposed to it's at 22 to 24 minutes. And then and I love the mana boot dismantling, because you absolutely need that mana early game, so you can constantly be tree, whatever this tree polar thing is. Jesus Christ, I can't believe it's Timber Chain. I do Timber Chain to harass or to secure last hits, to get the mana from the mana boots, and then the dismantle process right when I get the Ags or the Bloodstone. Excuse me, Jesus.
Yeah.
He's a really cool hero. I do know what you mean by when you're winning, you really see him in action, and when you're losing, you may not. But we had a game where we were double raxed, and it didn't even matter because of our crowd control. I had Ags, lots to do with what Ursi said. He said it's one of the best Ags in the game is for Timbersaw, and I tend to agree with him now. I get the Ags, I get the Bloodstone, I get I get some armor, whether that be Shiva's. I maybe grab a Blade Mail depending on what they have. And I can I can sustain. His sustainability is unmatched, unparalleled with reactive armor. I'm out in lane, and just from getting hit, I heal.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad to see him. But my point being, I'm glad to see him in your rotation. He's not the one I would remove.
He's really difficult.
I'd rather see you
to pull him out.
I'd rather see you over the Puck go a more traditional offlane. If I had my druthers.
I'm just saying a neat, it would be good to get good with Puck. I got him in 1 on all hero, and all those heroes that I got in 1, some of them were by pure luck. The team did well. And I kind of it sucks. I don't think I had enough time with Puck. I understand the phase shift, bloop, go away for a minute, he disappear into a different realm. And her orb, where you can choose to go to wherever the orb is, or you can't. Dream Coil, of course. Everybody knows what the fuck Dream Coil is. And then there's, her silence. That's kind of like Queen of Pain's silence.
Yeah.
That in an area around him. I don't know. Puck's just a cool hero. I've seen it played offlane, and it has owned offlane. But Puck, I also feel is a bottle dependent hero. So that's why I would like to. I've been watching some games on it, and it's weird how they do it. They still get the bottle, and I think they're really disciplined about walking down if you're Dire offlane or Radiant offlane.
Yeah,
I don't know. It would be cool, but I'd throw Centaur in there too. It's just the thing is, I feel like we have overlap with people that we play, and Joy's Centaur is so good.
But Joy's also been talking about learning a hard carry position and adding 5. But
it would still be if it came down to it that it's Centaur's the pick. Probably put Joy Thief on the Centaur. You know what I mean? He's a really good Centaur.
But I mean, regardless, if you want to be the offlane, I think that's what you do. And then I think that we put Joy in that hard carry position, put me and Easy on support, and then we snag a mid.
I also thought about, I don't know
or
if
mid and Nomo or whatever
I don't know if it's a terrible idea, but like an Enigma offlane. Like, I feel like all these jungle heroes that I play with the exception of Enchantress, or Chen, would be pretty cool offlane. Just because their ability to farm is insane, and that's how they thrive in the jungle. I mean, it's even better in lane. Like what I've been finding with Nature's Prophet, 3 wins in a row now. Where I used to literally strictly, like those were the first 3 games I have laned Nature's Prophet from level 1. And it was really cool. Like, when things got dodgy and Cyphus needed XP, he was playing Wraith King, I would teleport to the jungle and I'd jungle. And then when it got, where he's like, okay, I need help, I'd teleport back, and it was just like a mix of both. And it was a great game.
2 moments that game. Well, one where you TP'd in, and I walked away with about 6 health.
Yeah,
and then
that was a minimap click too. That was a minimap, just like I was just like, well, let's secure the kill.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was that. Once I
needed.
got there, I was like, damn, this is gonna. That
was bad. Like I was trying to call out, like I needed help
right I just away. Saw a ping and then went exactly
I knew
where the
if
ping
anybody
was.
else were there, I knew I could take him. Like it was going to happen, and it was I was initiated.
He was totally like, I'm gonna kill you, bitch. That sniper.
Yeah.
He's just standing there doinking you, and you're like, come on, die.
Yeah, he wasn't even running. Like
he was just standing there, and he didn't run when I TP'd in.
He could had he run, he would have been safe.
Okay, so I harp on you about not playing a lot of heroes, but I want to say one thing that I feel like has given me an advantage to playing Nature's Prophet, a hero that not a lot of people play, and it would be weird. I would be totally surprised if you picked it up. Noticing when he's TPing in, it's very like nuanced.
Sure.
But I have gotten really good at identifying it the second it happens and going exactly away from it. And I feel like all these teams are like surprised when I sprout in. It's like, you can like see it, like it's 3 seconds of like a tree morphing.
Well, no. I think the reason that he did not run when he saw you TP in,
because he thought you were gonna die before.
Yeah, I think he thought he was gonna take me out. But I was ticking it down. The reason I was trying to get you guys to come down there and help me was because I had a stun that was like literally 2 seconds away.
Oh yeah,
I
and
just
then you
needed
hit him with it.
Yeah, and then so I hit him with that stun at my 6 hit points, and then we were able to right click him down.
Like right when I got in, and then it was just like...
But otherwise, I'd have been dead. I would have had to make a run for the Ancients to try to deny myself. Had you
wouldn't have had time to run for the Ancients.
With my stun,
with the range?
With the stun, I could have. Because I could have gotten onto high ground where he didn't have visibility.
He probably did enough damage where even if the Ancients did kill you, it'd give him the credit. Where it's like...
Yeah, maybe.
It's like, nah, dude. The Ancients did 1 point of damage to you. Like, the sniper gets credit.
Anyway,
let's give State of Affairs.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's give State of Affairs.
You kick it off this week.
Okay, so exciting news. I am exactly 1500 solo MMR. It's been on the rise. I hit like 1570. I was like a couple MMR from passing my party, which had sunk really low to about the 1570s, and now it's at like the 1630s, 1630, I think. Which there's my party MMR, 1630. As you know, huge decline. A lot of those losses that Cyphus had were ranked matches with Wazoo as well. I'm sure he's not 3K in party anymore.
He's been the like low 29s or high 28s.
Oh wow. So yeah, we lost a lot. It was.
Some of it, I don't know.
I mean, I've won a lot of. I guess I haven't won any party since then because I played some party matches with some people. And we lost.
We won today when we played because I refused to record below 1600. Yeah. I couldn't stand it. And I'm at 1608 on my party. Solo still 1219. I haven't played any solo games.
It's a great time. I'll say that much. I have been solely playing hero like those off lanes. Not Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet, I played those 3 games with you today. Yeah, like that was just revived today. But yeah, I just have a good time in my solo. Like it's like whatever they need. I played 3 different heroes like today, I think.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like I just wait for them to all pick.
You played the same. You played Nature's all 3 games, right?
Yeah. I'm talking about my solo though.
Oh, gotcha,
it's just a good time. Like you should do it. It's a good time.
Yeah, it's just time. It's just work, school, and then podcast and playing with you, and there you go. There's
46 minutes late podcast.
Yeah, but so be it. Well, let's take a break and then come back and chat with Ursinity.
Okay, yeah, let's do. Ursinity is our guest this evening, and we were happy to have him, so we recorded this interview before. I like it. I am...
Biased.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back.
This is Roland from Defense of the Patients. Are you confused by this music like I am? It's kind of interesting. You should call and leave us a voicemail. Our number is 1-888-410-7150. Our number once again is 1-888-410-7150. Why don't you get something interesting like this music on the show as well?
And we're back. Welcome to the show, Ursinity. You've been on the show with us before, though, right, sir?
I've been on Guild Chat, yeah. I don't think I've been on the main show, though.
Oh, we haven't had
What?
I hear my name very regularly, put it that way.
What? Okay, for all of you that have heard us talk about this prolific player, Ursinity, that
magician.
he is the one that gave us the 4-star rating on iTunes.
That's right.
It happened.
And now he is... We were proud to announce that Ursinity is a guild leader.
You can follow him on Twitter at Ursinity, Ursinity.
Yes.
And quite frankly, the man has a ton of really good Dota 2 advice.
And is very patient with you and non-elitist, which is hard to find. He may be elitist when it comes to history, so just don't talk about history with him. But no. So you're studying American history, right?
Yeah, I am a double major. I am secondary education and history.
I talked to you briefly yesterday. Your original plan was to be a professor.
Yep, and then I quickly got off that because you have to get a doctorate, and the whole market for being a professor is not that good, according to professors.
Yeah, it's hard to find a job. I know my professors, they said that they applied at about 10 different schools, and they felt lucky to get into mine. Yep. So, and I don't go to a prestigious school. By any means, and they still felt lucky.
Yeah,
so
anything other than a community college is yay.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So you said you may become a high school history teacher or possibly a junior high school teacher?
Yep, that's the plan. High school is my goal, but I'm open to middle school, and first few years it's wherever you can get a job.
Sure.
So we'll see.
How long until you're finished?
I'm in a 5-year master's program, and I'm a first semester senior.
Oh, okay.
So I have like another year and a half, maybe 2 years, depending on how classes work out.
If you pass or fail, is that how
no,
classes
I have to pass. I have very strict scholarship requirements, so I have to keep at least a 3.5. Otherwise, I pretty much can't go to school.
Oof.
So pass-fail is not really an issue. It's just... in a 5-year master's program, a lot of the classes are very specific. So it's like this only runs fall semester or spring semester. So there's a possibility that I might end up having credit-wise, I might be able to graduate, but I need a class, so I might have to spend an extra semester. But we'll see.
Well, the reason I asked this is because it makes complete sense. I would say .P's wisest member being Ursinity, and .P's most helpful in teaching individual being Ursinity. It's awesome that you're going into the workforce as a teacher, and you're going to help us for the next year and a half, hopefully, before you get a real job.
Yep.
And teach as many people, because I know that you've helped me personally with a lot of different heroes, with finding my role as well. I feel like I'm starting to solidify a role. I want to make a quick apology. Michael P. wrote in, and we read his email last week. He emailed us back, and he said that it was unfair for me to say that for people who play two heroes, to say that they're not playing Dota, and that is unfair for me to say.
It's kind of fair. It's 50-50.
It's 50-50. Wazoo played about 500 games of Bounty Hunter before ever playing anything else. He was still playing Dota 2. It's still a wonderful game. He's still experienced a myriad of other heroes, and I understand that. I didn't mean it to be rude, except to Cyphus. So,
of course. Well, let's talk about Michael's email at the end of the show. I want to open up with talking about AD2L.
Okay.
Because Ursi, you joined us for those last two painstaking games.
Yeah.
What did you think? of the 4 .p members you got to play with?
I mean, overall it was pretty good. There were no like glaring mistakes or like no one person through any game. But definitely there was a clear gap in like the average skill
and practice.
And practice. Where like, you guys play together regularly, but then the schedules of like Easy and Joy don't always mesh, so you guys don't practice as a group as much as the other team clearly did.
Ever. Well, they were stream cheating as well.
They were also cheating. So.
Yeah. So they were, so we heard. It's not a big deal, whatever. 82L, in my experience, no offense to anybody who loves it, hasn't been a good experience. Jordan Hansen is an awesome guy. He's made an awesome community around it, and I wish him the best of luck, but so far it's been kind of a bad experience. I'm going to be honest.
I don't know. I don't hold them. I
don't hold him accountable. No, I hold the people accountable that are cheating. Like, he's trying to make this fair environment, and people are taking advantage of that. Yeah. And I mean, this is a free fucking tournament that you can win actual money in. You know what I mean? People should respect it as such and give him the respect and not stream snipe. I mean,
that's
we're
also
1500 MMR. You know what I mean? You don't need to stream snipe us. You just win.
I mean, so as far as the stream goes, I don't think there's anything they're ever going to be able to do to combat that.
I mean, and casting is good. It gets 82L out there.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm not going to be like, don't cast the game. Maybe set it on a 2-minute delay.
Well, who was it that brought it to our attention that he was responding to the caster?
Well, he said it in-game first in all chat. He said something, and then we're like, that's weird. And I think Ursinity noted that, correct?
Yeah, I think it was in the lobby, either before game 1 or 2. They said something about the stream. I can't recall, and there's no logs of it, so...
Yeah, and then, anyway, apparently, and this is all hearsay, maybe they weren't stream cheating, but I will say that our wards we were putting in the most obscure places, and they were getting dewarded instantly. So that was
without a gem.
Without a gem. So that they were buying sentry wards and just putting it down. So it felt really weird. But we thought we were just up against this really, really, really good team. And they did some things that were really cool.
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely very skilled. And even just from the practices.
That's why I'm so bummed that they had to, stream snipe. You practice, why stream snipe too? You already, trust your game. Trust your game. So
they also had, one of the other big differences was that they had it was pretty clear from their draft that they came in with clear draft ideas where they're like, all right, we're gonna run a death ball push focused on Undying Sniper. I forget their other heroes.
Undying
so that was
Sniper,
a big difference.
Yeah, that was basically the notable.
In that very first game. Well, of course, that game ended in 22 minutes.
And you called it too. You really did. They picked up the Undying, and you're like, okay, well, we need to figure out something for the... Or no, they picked the Sniper first, and then once they got the Undying, you're like, shit, I should have thought of that. And we're like... And all of us are sitting around like, huh? Why?
Well, and I wished that I would have brought it up, because one of their guys had a really decent win rate with... a really good win rate with Undying. Mm-hmm. The guy who ended up playing him, and we saw that Sniper had a shitload of
he was good. Legitimately, he has a 72% win rate with 75 games of Sniper, something like that.
Well, beforehand, we checked him out on Dota Buff, and there were 15 games played this week with their full team, and they had a 75% win rate. I mean, we should have known going in.
Well, and that's why it just disappoints me so much. Is these teams practice? Why ruin the integrity of your practice by cheating?
Yeah.
I want to be careful throwing around accusations because they may not have been.
They may not have been. And that's the thing. This is hearsay. I'm not coming on, and I'm not mad. And
it was just us putting 2 and 2 together with a couple of things. And there'll be no way to prove it. And I definitely still love the 82L folks and what they're trying to do.
And by the way, let me correct what I said earlier. It's not that I'm mad at 82L. I'm just being honest about my experience. And... largely because my experience has been bad is because I'm bad as a player and I lose and losing isn't fun.
Right. Okay. Because we should note that that's 5% 82L's fault.
Yeah. No. Well, the fact that we lose.
Well, or it's not even 5% 82L's fault. It's 5% sometimes weird things happen or unfortunate things happen or teams don't show up, which isn't 82L's issue. They're definitely blameless in all of that. It's just
they are.
95% of it is we're all playing as new players and getting our asses handed to us.
Absolutely. And the nicest, to be honest, the nicest person and most pure-hearted person I have met in the Dota community has probably been Jordan Hansen, the main dude or one of the main dudes of 82L. So, Jordan Hansen, if you're listening, I'm not saying your tournament isn't bad. I think you're getting so close to making something so awesome. Your guild is always buzzing. I'm in it. I'm talking to people. It's a great place to find a party, especially for Year Beast around these parts. Everybody's looking for Year Beast. I've just been disappointed with other teams taking advantage of maybe the kindness, or I don't know, kindness isn't the right word. The lax structure.
Yeah, sure.
The lax structure.
But again, I don't think that there's much that AD12...
Well, look at how we tried to run a tournament.
Oh, God.
How did our tournament go, Ursinity?
Yeah, we...
it went... Let's put it that way.
It hasn't even happened yet. We're trying to figure it out.
Parts have happened.
Some games, and those games count. Everybody that's played your game and won, don't worry, we're not revoking the fact that you won.
Next time we're going to force a schedule. I mean, that's all there is to it.
We have to. And then get a stand-in list and pull those stand-ins in.
Yep.
But on the AD2L front, we did better in Game 2, even though we still lost.
Yeah, Game 2 was pretty good.
It felt like we started relatively strong, or maybe that was just, I don't know. I know that part of my issue is, though I'm getting better at overall map awareness, every once in a while I definitely zone in to just what's going on in my lane. And I know it's dangerous to do that because you may be winning your lane, but hey, you might be losing 2 other lanes. And I felt like mid was going really well. Like I felt like I was taking control of that troll warlord pretty effectively.
And it really surprised me. So what happened with this last game is we wanted to give ourselves the best chances to win. So, of course, I contact Ursinity and say, hey, Ursinity, Denomlos won't be able to make it tonight. Will you stand in for us? He said yes. I'm like, fuck yeah. And then we talked for about an hour and a half before the game on Skype. Me, Cyphus, and Ursinity. Pulling up everybody on our team's best heroes and everybody on their team's best heroes and trying to figure out how we were going to draft and leaving it completely up to Ursinity. And Ursinity, I want you to take it away for a second and just let us know what you did. Like, it's a big mystery to me, this whole drafting thing.
Well, basically, I knew that you guys have relatively limited hero pools. Which is not uncommon in the least. And so I just wanted to get a general feel for what I could draft for us, because obviously, I'm not going to pick Bat Rider or like some Shadow Demon or any hero that you guys don't play. And it's a lot easier to know that stuff beforehand than to be in that captain's draft when the timer's ticking down. And then me just listing off heroes like, can anybody play Jakiro? Can anybody play CM? Stuff like that.
And then our reserve time goes to 0.
Yeah, which unfortunately that did not happen.
Yes.
But still, that's a good rule for any semi-competitive team, is just to know, like, my friend's best hero is Spirit Breaker. My friend cannot play Enigma. This person only plays 2 heroes. Stuff like that.
Which is why I'm also excited to announce you're going to be doing coaching sessions for people who are in the DotP Guild once a week. Is this correct?
Yeah. I already kind of do it, but not on any kind of schedule. So I think we're going to be scheduling stuff so that there's actually like time set aside that I can help out.
Yep. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a new post on the defenseofthepatients.boards.net. And we want you to include like 5 of your best heroes and that you want to be coached by Ursinity. And we're going to get a 5-stack, and he's going to be your coach in a normal match. Do you want to do it captain's mode?
Probably all pick is probably just easier.
Yeah, probably easier.
Captain's mode has a lot of unnecessary complications for pub games.
It does. And I had Ursinity help me with Tidehunter. I asked if Ursinity would pay a little more attention to my Tidehunter in a specific game, and we ended up winning that game. And I really, it helps to have somebody in your ear, not yelling at you, but like, hey, save your mana for Ravage. Don't Anchor Smash. Know that you have a limited pool. Okay, get back. Don't ever get the Q before you get 3 and E in this circumstance. Or like, it was really helpful, and I want everybody else to be able to experience that. I know you are. I mean, Ursinity, being a 4K player, still will play with all of us 1K newbies. So he's nice enough to do that. We just want to make it formal and that you can sign up and you can learn something new about the game and be a better player. Because that's what we're about, is being better players.
Yeah, even though we're still struggling to become better players.
I think, well, we're broadening our hero pool, and our MMR is staying the same. So that shows growth, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to think that at the same time, 1600 now is better than 1600 6 months ago because the Dota community as a whole is just naturally getting better. That's why, like, certain regions, for instance, you say like a 4K on Southeast Asia, it might be better or worse than a 4K in Europe West, because I know EU West is supposed to be one of the harder, better servers. So.
Yeah. Well, and we've had Gorgon on here before talking about how the Asian servers, honestly, against the current meta, and they were kind of in reference to Team Secret and EG, it turns out, but we're probably, because of their isolation, not really getting a chance to bump up against these current meta strategies from the North American servers and the European servers, and they were at a huge disadvantage because of it.
It's so crazy, the trickle down meta from the pros. Like, you see, it's crazy to see, like, put on Team Secret or something like that, and they do some revolutionary thing, and then all of a sudden it's happening in 1500 matches. You know, it's really cool that this happened. It happened a little bit in StarCraft, but StarCraft was more about macro management and micro management. If your macro management wasn't good, your micro was insane, you weren't going to win, vice versa. So it was hard to kind of have that trickle down meta. There still was, but in Dota you see it a lot more. And with heroes being in vogue, you said the other day. I asked you, why is Troll Warlord so popular? I mean, he was just as good, a month or 2 months or 6 months ago. You're like, well, he's just in vogue. Like, that's just what's happening. Pick him. Yeah,
that's the difference. Like, I don't think he had any changes in the last couple patches, or even if he did, they were super minor. But people were just like running comps that worked with him, and they started picking him. I know Havost, who I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's XBOCT.
Yeah, it's Havost, which I thought was weird.
He started picking him for Na'Vi, and they started winning, and like people were like, "Oh, hey, this hero's really good." And also he works with Juggernaut, which is just like dumb hero. I have endless frustration with Juggernaut in solo ranked.
You have about 10 heroes that you just completely despise, right?
I'm a very opinionated Dota player.
Yes, you are.
But yeah, there are a good few heroes that I just cannot stand. And usually,
Bounty Hunter's an awesome hero. Let's start there.
Bounty Hunter's he's in. See, there are certain heroes I dislike because they're really good and they're really aggravating to play against, like Doom or Juggernaut. But then there are certain heroes that are just like really bad, and they don't fit the meta, or people don't play them well, and so Bounty Hunter falls under that category. Because I like Bounty Hunter. I think he's a fun hero, and I like him theoretically, but just in the current meta,
he's no good.
He's not good, because he with the snowball mechanics where he builds up a ton of money, and then when he dies, the other team gets so much money because of the whole rubber band thing that was introduced in 6.83. So, and he doesn't do as much with money as other heroes. Same thing with Alchemist. Alchemist, he builds up a huge lead by 30 minutes when he's 5 slotted, 6 slotted. And then he dies, and then the other team gets 3,000 gold, and then suddenly everybody has an extra item. Yeah. And so he just doesn't fit because every game goes late. So Alchemist and Bounty Hunter are definitely in that weird position where they're like, they just don't fit the meta, and some heroes are just weak.
Yeah, and I heard your voice in my head the other day, yesterday, as in the other day. I was playing a game, and we were losing really, really hard, and then it kind of, because of the 6.83 mechanics, we got a team wipe, and exactly what you said, we got another item. But we had this Bounty Hunter on our team, and he ended the game at 18-6, so yeah, he was doing really well, but he only ever killed Jakiro. Jakiro was 0-18, and we lost the game horribly, and we were losing the whole entire time, yet he was 18-6. Explain this to me, how this happens. He would go invisible, wait for his cooldown for a little bit, bam, pop everything he had, his Dagon, his Shuriken, his crit, kill the Jakiro, and then go invisible and run away. Yeah. And he was 6 slotted. He had an MKB. He had a Battle Fury for some reason, which I thought was weird.
Do you think some of that is because, especially at our skill level, I don't think anybody contemplates playing Bounty as a support, which is definitely what's going on at higher skill levels.
We're an offlane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, do you think that's kind of why he's such a frustrating hero to deal with? Or, I mean, to see picked?
I think he falls under the category of heroes that whenever you see them picked, you think like, all right, I have a bounty hunter. I would rather have any other hero in that role. Like if you pick bounty hunter support, then, you know, he might have items and stuff, but you'd rather have like, I don't know, a Dazzle or a Warlock or someone. So he falls under that category where like that guy who was 18 and 6 and he was 6 slotted, well, you'd rather have an 18 and 6 like a Clinks or I don't know, it depends on wherever he went. But if he offlane, like, yeah,
he was roaming. Like... He just said roam at the start of the game. Roam. Yeah, kind of like this Clinks that we just played with. We played with a younger Clinks. I think I guessed his age perfectly when I said 13.
Yeah,
because it really offended him. But that's fine. I played video games when I was 13, and guess what people said to me? Hey, you 13-year-old. You know what I mean?
I played Dota when I was 13, so I feel you there.
Yeah. The problem is he wasn't willing to work with us. And you were watching part of the game, and
I did.
He was running around, and he was doing really well. I mean, pretty much.
Well, he was doing okay.
He was doing. I mean, he was getting kills, and he was running around and scouting out and doing his Clinks thing and making sure that. He was eating creeps or neutral creeps, and I respect a Clinks right off the bat when they eat a neutral creep opposed to a lane creep, because that means that they played Clinks before. So. He was doing that, although he wasn't cleaning the jungle camp up, and I was Nature's Prophet, so I'd go there to use my Midas, and there would be, the big guy would be gone, and there'd be like 2 little birds left, and be like,
I noticed that even on our camps, he was only eating the biggest creep and then just bailing.
That's the point, he gets their health. I mean, that's his ult.
Yeah, he gets the most stats from them. Yeah. Also, I mean, if you have a Midas, you should be Midasing the small one anyway.
I thought I was supposed to Midas the big red Minotaur guy, because he gives me the most EXP.
He does, but the question is, in different phases of the game, you Midas different creeps.
Okay.
And depending on your hero, you Midas different creeps. So, like, I know, Cyphus, you were playing AA the other day, using this, for example, and I was telling you to buy Midas on AA.
Right.
And so the difference would be, like, on AA, you want XP, because that's why you get the Midas, because you get the 2.5 times XP, so that's when you'd Midas the big Wildkin or the big Troll, whatever, because that's maximum EXP. Whereas if you're playing Natures and you just want the money, then you kill the big Troll or the big Ursa or the Tomato or whatever, and then you get that money, and then you Midas one of the small creeps. Yeah, the Tomato,
I know, the big red, the big red.
I pictured it perfectly in my mind the moment you said it.
It's hilarious. I've never heard it called the Tomato.
I think Shane calls it that on his stream, Shane Omad. But yeah, so if you want money, you Midas the small creep, and if you want XP, you Midas the large creep. And then you always kill the remaining.
That makes perfect sense.
Otherwise, you're ruining like the farming cycle of your carry.
Because if I go into a Wildkin camp and I Midas the big Wildkin, I get 180 gold there, and then I get 20 from each of the little birds. So that's 220 gold, right? Mm-hmm. Or I can Midas 180 on one of those, get the 100, 280. That puts me at 300 opposed to 220. That's like an 80 gold bump, basically. Yep. Makes perfect sense. I see. Learning something, even talking about it. Yeah. We're not even in the Dota client, and yet I'm still learning things.
That's also, even in lane, it's a less of a difference, but in a lane, if you want XP, you Midas the range creep, because range creeps give 10 more XP, I want to say, something like that.
Really?
Than the melee creeps.
Oh.
And melee creeps give less money, so you Midas a melee creep for money, and you Midas a range creep for experience. I think the range creeps push a little harder, so you have to take that into consideration too. That's super minor, because you get 5 extra gold and 10 extra XP, so
but hey,
it's not going to make any big difference.
We were talking on an earlier podcast, an earlier show, that last hitting gets more experience. Absolutely wrong, right?
No, it does not. You get no extra experience.
Mm-hmm.
The only in a way, obviously you killed it, so you can't be denied.
Yeah.
So
you secured the
taking
gold.
that into consideration, then you getting last hits removes the opportunity for deny.
Yep.
And deny gives you 50% XP. So
I thought it just took it all.
No, definitely not.
Oh, wow. Okay, because there's been
If it
some
took it all, that would be like ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you could just make it like, oh yeah, you're level 1 at 18 minutes.
Dude, that's how it's felt sometimes in mid. I mean,
Yeah.
were you playing with my Storm Spirit the other day?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
I think that was
Whew.
Whew. I think you played Storm in-house. I think that's what it was.
Oh yeah, it was in the in-house that Beast won $10. We're starting to do in-houses, and I'll start to schedule these where it's 5v5. Okay, the winning team's MVP gets a $10 Steam card. Okay, but the MVP is decided by the losing team.
Yeah.
And so we decided our team lost. Even though we had Ursinity, we lost. And that was, Ursinity was playing
all
Disruptor.
Disruptor.
He was Disruptor. He did really, really, really well. I did really, really, really opposite of well.
You tried. You did things.
Did things.
He was like, it was like 22 minutes in, and he's like, how's your orchid coming? And I was like, and he's like, and I was like, I've got like, 1 Oblivion staff. And he's like, yeah, usually a pretty good time is about 12 minutes. 14 minutes is getting pretty late. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah,
I'm doing everything I can.
But you like rotated a lot.
Wait, what were you playing?
Storm Spirit.
Oh.
This guy kept denying, like, I swear to God, he denied like 4 waves of creeps from me. And I felt the experience hit. I know I did. Because it was just like, I was getting no gold, no experience, and I was rotating way too often. And dying.
Rotating rotating is, it's a good feeling when you go to bottom lane and you get a kill. Mm-hmm. But if you're spending 2 minutes
to do it,
to go get that kill, or if you spend 2 minutes to get a kill that you don't even get, then it's like the other guy's free farming. You missed 4 creep waves. That's like,
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Two creep waves a minute.
Did you miss?
You missed 16 opportunities for 50 gold.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's something to take into consideration. That's why, like, I think I was talking to you about this, but that's why, like, Spirit Breaker, you think he's like super scary, but then you realize at like 20 to 25 minutes, it's like, okay, everybody else has like their first big item. He has like a Mask of Madness and treads and maybe an urn. Mm-hmm. So like he just naturally falls off because he's going out and getting kills and shutting you down, but he's also not farming creeps, so he has no money.
It's true. Although Spirit Breaker, like, it started out, and we've talked about this several times on the podcast, started out where Ricky was the number 1 guy that we were worried about when he was up against us. We're like, oh fuck, great, they have a Ricky. And then we learned the magic of dust, sentries, and a gem. Mm-hmm. And then the Rickies kind of went away, and then Silencer came into effect, and we're like, God, we can't stop the Silencer. The Silencer, Silencer was plaguing us. And now it's kind of Spirit Breaker. I mean, I will tell you, I have games all the time against Spirit Breaker.
And I don't feel that at all.
And he crushes me.
The one I've noticed most frequently is Jug. I mean, even still.
Well, because he's flavor of the month.
Jug is stupid too.
Jug is stupid.
I have endless aggravation with Jug.
What is it? Is it the Omni Slash? Is it the fact that Mask of Madness lets you hit during an Omni Slash?
It's the fact that people discovered, like, people have been doing these attack speed builds for a while, but now it's like we were talking about earlier, it's in vogue and people know it and they see it every game, so they just replicate it. And it's like one of these heroes that, like, all you do is you hit 2 buttons and people die, and ideally, like, their whole team dies because
you have an Aghanims.
Yeah, and that's also like I consider him. He's one of these heroes where when I play solo ranked, if I see the enemy team pick Jug, I pick Troll, and if the enemy team picks Troll, I pick Jug, because it's just like, if you're gonna pick rude heroes,
you consider rude heroes.
Oh man. As much as I'm sure Wazoo's not going to like to hear that, because I know he plays Jug. And Jug's a good hero.
He loves Jug.
I love it when Jug's on my team. Like, God bless. But I do not want Jug against me in any occasion.
I think for me the most frustrating aspect of him is how much invulnerability it feels like he has. Even just with an escape, because
Omni Slash invulnerability, the spell immunity,
the Blade Fury rotating. Either as an initiation or to get away is really obnoxious, and you notice it a ton playing stun supports.
Oh, and Blade Fury TP, like,
can he
free TP?
Oh yeah, he can. So it's he, of course he can. It's pretty tough. You're absolutely right. Juggernaut is easy. I don't know. And I think Troll Warlord is a fairly easy hero. For people looking for hard carries, maybe.
I mean, they're all mechanical.
It is mechanical.
You can farm.
Their last hit animation is
with
easy.
Troll, you just you just steamroll. I think Troll's a little more difficult than Jug.
Troll is more difficult because you have to know that like when the axes are in your hands, you're throwing them, and it's just weird because your toggle you have to get used to. Am I ranged or am I melee right now? Whereas Jug, it is literally like swinging a sword. Like just picture yourself swinging a sword, and that's how it's gonna be with last hits. Just like Wazoo said with Shadow Fiend, it's like throwing a softball. He's like, that's what he told me. He's like, okay, you want to get into Shadow Fiend? Just act like you're throwing softballs, okay? and the animation looks a lot like he's throwing a softball.
Yeah, it does look like he's pitching a ball right at you.
So I feel like Juggernaut is one of the easiest last hit heroes. I feel like Brewmaster's also really easy, but a hard hero to play.
Both of them have really low swing animations. That's a big reason. It's also why attack speed's so good on Jug. His base swing animation is lowest in the game, tied with the anti-mage, so when he gets a lot of attack speed, it's that much better.
Yeah, and when he gets his Mask of Madness, it's just it's madness. It really is. So here's what kind of pisses me off about the Mask of Madness Omni Slash is that he's invulnerable because he's moving so fast. Is that why he's invulnerable? Like, is that like the reasoning behind it?
You're trying to look for logic?
Yeah, like the lore reasoning why we cannot hit him?
I would assume.
I don't know. Yeah.
But why can he hit us? He's just like in Matrix mode where it's just like he's moving so fast.
He's going so fast.
Yeah. Okay, well, whatever.
He's the chosen one.
The Mask of Madness is lame. And I think that if they're going to nerf anything on Juggernaut to get him out of vogue and get him back to just a normal hero...
Obviously, it's to stop him from being able to buy Mask of Madness.
He can buy Mask of Madness, just don't let him get an extra hit on an Omni Slash if he hits Mask of Madness.
So maybe mute his item usage?
Say again?
It's not even extra Omni Slash hits. Like, Omni Slash is different. It's him auto-attacking during the Omni Slash. So, like, technically he's on the map.
So why can't we kill him? Would be my justification.
I mean, that's the question. Let's ask Ice Frog.
Yeah, like, he can hurt me because he's moving so fast. And Blade Mail doesn't work. Nothing else works.
Maybe I'm really fast.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the only way to make, a hero that slows down time is to just speed that hero up, right? And I don't know what my point was there because he's not slowing time down.
I think that's like a patch ago.
Yeah, I mean, Faceless Void would be the one that's like stopping time with his Chronosphere.
Nerfed into the ground.
Faceless Void has?
Yeah, I shouldn't say into the ground. He's still good, but he used to be like way better. But now Refresher costs a lot more mana, so you can't go Refresher Void.
Oh, I've never
Refresher
seen
costs
that.
more mana, and then in addition to that, his ult got nerfed last patch, I want to say, and it costs more mana to further de-incentivize Refresher ult. Admittedly, that was very dumb. And,
I've never seen
super good.
So he could could he Refresher in the Chrono and then throw 2 Chronos at the same time and run at 1,000 movement speed?
You throw them one after another. So what you do is it'd be like your late game item. People would either you go Ags for like early to mid game Faceless Dominance, or you'd go Refresher late game. And so what you'd do is you'd throw down your ult, which lasts like 4 or 5 seconds. Then at the end of that ult, you would Refresher and you'd ult again, and then you have 10 seconds of just punching people. Or you could do it all in one, and you could like put one bubble over yourself, and then you could also ult the other group of people just so that they can't disable you.
That's so cool.
It was silly.
I've never seen that. Never even thought about refreshers on Faceless Void.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense why you would have done it.
So we can find Ursinity at
Ursinity, URSINITY on Twitter.
Yes, he's very responsive on Twitter. I will say that. He left that review and was talking to us, and it took a while for us to put 2 and 2 together. That Sam Holland, sorry, I just gave your real name out. Ursinity, this was this guy, and he's always on Twitter talking to us and correcting us, basically, like in a very nice way,
very friendly.
But I was reading through our reviews today, just because, like I said, I love the iTunes reviews and I preach about it all the time. But everybody talked about how like we love that the community is always willing to question what you guys say and correct you guys because you're still learning, you're still new. And I love that people, do not feel intimidated to be like, hey, dude, you're fucking wrong. Like, this is how it works.
Absolutely. Tell me how it works.
Yeah. And Ursinity was one of those people that was like, hey, no, that's wrong. But, that's still good job, guys.
And we went off on so many tangents, we didn't really get into the choosing your spot discussion that we were going to. But we'll have you back, and we'll have that discussion.
Well, what we're going to do is, briefly, I want to talk. We're going to throw it on the board. You can sign up, put 5 heroes down. We'll make sure it's up here probably by the time you listen to this episode. So you can sign up for a time to play with Ursinity. We then are going to talk about it on the show after the game that he plays with whoever the 5 are.
If you sign up, make sure you're okay with us discussing your play.
Yeah, and we're not going to be like, he was so fucking terrible. Like, that's not our point. That's not going to help you get better.
Nor our style.
I apologize to Ursinity. Real quick, I just want to say this. I apologize to Ursinity when he was watching my Tide Hunter game. I was like, God, I know I'm missing all these last hits. And you said something that was super insightful that I really appreciated. And you said there's nothing good that comes from me saying, get more last hits. It's just something that's going to happen eventually.
Yep. Play bot games. That's like, you want to get better at Dota? Play bot games. Practice your mechanics. Like, that's lesson 1.
And I really appreciated that. I really appreciated the fact that you weren't like, hey, try and get more last hits. Or like, come on, dude, get more last hits. You didn't say anything, and I was so surprised. I was like embarrassed. Like, oh, I missed another easy one. I missed another easy one.
Because you knew he was watching.
Yeah, and then I watch him play, and it's rare for him to miss a last hit. And, and it's like, it's obviously a huge, and that's what makes him 4K.
Yeah.
And makes me, 1.5K is he knows when to swing his sword.
Mechanics and experience.
Yeah.
That'll make a big difference. Like, if you're trying to get MMR, if you're trying to get better, like, that's the most clear goal-oriented thing. Like, go into a bot game and, like, learn the basics of last hitting and denying.
And be familiar with your hero and how his animation is.
Yeah.
Because
being comfortable with a hero. Well, and at our skill level, pick up that Quelling Blade. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah, it's worth, trust me.
If
you get 4 last hits because of it, it's pretty much paid for itself, okay?
Yep. I used to be anti-Quelling Blade. I used to think it was like, back when I was a much worse player, I was like, oh, Quelling Blade, that's for people that don't know how to last hit. But really, it's just for lane dominance.
It's for lane dominance and when you miss.
And for people who don't know how to last hit.
Yeah, for people who swing too soon.
Yeah. That's like another like easy way to get better at last hitting. Just swing late. Like, don't try to... Because every hero does like a damage range. So like Shadow Fiend we were talking about, he does like whatever, like 43 to 46.
Yeah.
Let's say. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to be hitting when the thing has 46. You want to be hitting when it has 40. Because if it has 40, then you're guaranteed to get it. So Quelling Blade just elevates that range.
Yes, it does.
And if you're hitting things later, obviously you're giving more room for the enemy to deny. But also, like, you have less chance to miss.
Yeah.
It's true. Well, before you go, Ursinity, you have to give your state of affairs.
All right, so my solo, which is slowly climbing, I don't play that much ranked in general.
Because you're playing with DotP too much, but...
Also, yeah, I'm not, like, I don't know, I'm a big fan of the getting better by playing unranked. Mm-hmm. But also, I only play solo when I'm feeling confident, which during the semester is not that often. So my solo right now is 4,079, and my party is 3,835.
Okay. So here in about 250 MMR, I'm going to be able to play solo with you, or party with you.
Yeah,
we have played a ranked party before.
Yeah, we have.
We have been up there.
The losing streak,
and then we lost 45. We lost 45
I've also been
points.
on a winning streak, so it just increases the gap.
So what is your highest high on your solo?
I've been in the 4200s before, but then right when 6.83 hit, I went on a 9-game losing streak.
Oof.
Because that's like people learned about the rubber band and they learned about the late game meta, and then I lost 5 games in a row to first pick Spectres, even when I'd counter it, and that was just brutal.
Huh.
And so I went on a big losing streak, and I didn't play ranked for like 3 months, and that's when I was under 4K, and it was like, I don't know, it's like one of those embarrassing things where you say like, oh, I play like I'm 4K, but like you're 3,800. It's like, well,
oh my god,
I don't know. You don't want to be that guy.
How many times I've heard people with their
where they're like, oh, I'm
excuses.
4K on my other account.
Or you are what you are. Okay,
yeah.
You earn what
it's
you
just
have.
A number. Who cares?
Yeah.
And of course, the bigger the population size, being the more amount of games, the more calibrated you are.
Yeah.
So those people that have like 4,000 games ranked, and you're I'm a 5K player, but right now I'm 3,200. No, no, you were a 5K player, but you're 3,200 now. Now you're 3,200.
Like 3,200. I think of more of like, if you're gonna gauge skill, I think of it in like brackets. So like 3,000 to 3,500 is like one general skill, and then 3,500 to 4K, and then 4K to 45. I think that's a better metric than just saying like, oh, he's 1875, so that makes him so different from that guy that's 1725.
Yeah, give it a 500.
And
spread.
it's just a number, and it's so easy to cheat the system that, like, at the end of the day, who really cares?
But why would you want to do that? Because
people like big numbers. Like, anybody can spam Huskar and get to like 6,000, or spam Jug.
That's
like
what you were saying. Huskar,
yeah, Huskar's a big one from getting from like anybody that can control like tempo controllers that can just shut down a game. Those are big like spam heroes like Storm Spirit, Huskar. And then some heroes that are just good, like Jug or Shadowblade Tiny. I know my good friend, he was spamming Shadowblade Tiny recently, and he went from like 4,200 to 4,800 because it was just like, oh, hey, like this build wins. But that doesn't mean he's a 4,800 everything. That means he's a 4,800 Tiny.
Exactly.
So
I've
like,
made
MMR
this point.
is just a number.
I've made this point.
Oh
my god.
Well, and on that note,
Ursinity.
I could rant about spammers for years. Trust me.
We are so, once again,
thrilled to have you.
We're thrilled to have you in the guild, and now in a more leadership role. You've definitely shown more leadership than I ever have. So I really appreciate it.
Well, we'll have you back to talk about some upcoming coaching sessions, and hopefully, narrowing in on particular roles, and maybe what Roland and I can do better as well.
Great, yeah, I'm always happy to help.
Well, thank you so much. It's been awesome talking with you.
Yep, thanks for having me.
What was that?
It's Postmaster Wazoo. Remind me, what does he do again?
Mr. Wazoo, he brings the hate mail. Mr. Wazoo, he brings the hate mail. He's always there when you fail, and now he brings the hate mail.
Doodaloo, friends.
Doodaloo, Postmaster Wazoo.
How's it going, boys?
It's going. We're glad that you're here with some friendly mail.
I am thrilled to be here with some friendly mail as well. And I'm right next to a friendly male named Cyphus. You're right next to me.
I don't like the new setup for that reason.
Yeah, I'm the teacher and you were a bad student, and sometimes I smack you with my ruler on the ass. All right, I've got a few letters of
sexual harassment.
What?
Here at DotP Industries. File a suit.
Okay. I've got 3 letters of import here. First one. Dear Roland, I saw you do a bottle start last week. Or rather, I saw you attempt to do a bottle start last week. Instead, you waddled in like a preteen having a seizure while listening to Ocean Avenue or whatever shitty music girls your age listen to. Please take off your dunce cap, that's not happening, and play your mid like a man and buy tangos and other such items to sustain yourself in lane before you farm your bottle. Sincerely, GG Easy Fucking Mid. I gotta calm down with that one.
Wow.
Why'd you have to get some into it?
Yeah, that's somebody else's.
Yeah,
words.
that's not yours.
Definitely somebody else's. Second, Dear Cyphus.
Oh.
God, it makes me feel like I'm saying like a venereal disease. Here's a riddle for you. What do 10 lost games in a row of Dota 2 have in common? Give up? Cyphus was in them.
Wow.
I've had better win streaks in my underwear. Yours truly, wonder if there's a lost prediction gem. You guys would get an incredible amount of use out of those.
Okay, nice, I guess.
All right, here's a last letter. It has a question mark on it. Interesting. Dear tournament stream cheaters, using a stream to cheat in an amateur Dota 2 tournament is like rigging the deck when playing poker for matchsticks. You still win nothing, and everybody thinks you're an asshole. Love, Toastmaster Wazoo. Wow. I've seen him on television. He's very good looking.
Toastmaster Wazoo?
Yeah, I hear Toastmaster
I hear he looks a lot like you.
Shining grin. He has a brother who has that Stephen Hawking's disease.
It should be Stephen Hawking's
disease. His name is Blowland.
It shouldn't be Blowland.
The brother with the Stephen Hawking device.
Now we're checking the mature sexual content box. That's hilarious.
I don't know. Blowland? There are a lot of meanings
If
there.
there was a land that one could go to get blown by you, it would be called Blowland.
It would. Yeah.
I mean,
I will check that box on this episode.
I don't want to hang out with you guys much anymore, so I'm going to take off. See ya.
Oh, that's all? We don't get to rebut?
Nope.
No.
I don't want to rebut.
Oh.
Fuck you.
Okay.
You can leave.
Headphones.
Toastmaster Wazoo, everybody. And with a nice little musical interlude, Roland guides us out of the show.
Love.
So this is take 2 of the outro.
It is.
And we don't have to get into it.
Minor technical difficulty.
But this is all the show I have in me. This is it. I'm done.
We had we didn't do anything of note on our last outro.
No. You did inform me that iTunes seems to be malfunctioning.
Oh yeah, it's not taken your reviews for some reason.
Yeah. I'm sure there are hundreds of reviews waiting to go through.
So
you guys have probably submitted so many reviews.
Oh, you were going to give some sets
iTunes
away.
server.
You were going to give some sets away.
Yeah. So I had to have the Wraith King stuff. I felt like
yep.
So I put $10 on there.
I'm not going to lie to our listeners. I've heard you say this.
Yeah, but I'm not asking you to lie. I'm explaining to them what's going on.
Okay, you love.
I put $10 on there. Snagged the Wraith King set. Dominated with him earlier tonight. I felt like it was a good Wraith King.
You
game.
did good.
Yeah. But I sent out a tweet.
Were you wearing the new armor?
Yeah, I sure was.
Oh,
sure
nice.
Was.
I didn't notice. I'm sorry.
Because Wraith King would be you only live twice.
You only live
Yolt. But anyway, so we've got I've got the TA set. I forget what it's called. I already forgot. From the new
TA set from the new
thing.
Spring Blossoms set.
And then I've got the new Morphling set as well. And if you guys go on and leave a review, and I'm alerted about the review, and you let me know,
I'll alert him.
And Roland will definitely alert. But shoot me a tweet or an email or something, and I'll arrange to get those sets over to you. Because
It's
now
easy. You just add them as a friend, and then gift wrap the thing, and then click on their name.
Yeah,
it's so easy.
Yeah, so
and you can send a little message too.
Oh well, I will.
I said thanks for growing .p to all the sets that I gave away.
What set are you giving? Oh, you gave away.
I already gave away that TA set. I gave away TA. I gave away PA. I gave away WK. I gave away.
What was the one that you gave away for Worst Way to Die?
Oh, I'm going to give away the Rare Disruptor.
Yeah,
that comes in the Spring Blossom.
That's a sweet set.
And to Bunny.
Yep, that's right. So
yes.
We'll send out a tweet and let him know as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to do the plugs and get us out of here.
Get us out.
All right, so if you want to follow us on Twitter, we're at .p_show. Our website, of course, defenseofthepatients.com. Find us on Facebook by searching Defense of the Patients. Email us at defenseofthepatients@gmail.com. You've got our voicemail number somewhere up in there earlier in the episode, which I already forgot. 888.
Oh, really? It's 410-7150.
That's right. I was just testing you.
It's 888-410-7150.
And, of course, find us on iTunes where you can follow the show and leave us a review. Mm-hmm. And remember to tell a friend, because you guys are legitimately the only advertising that we've got. Or the best advertising that we've got by far. And so we appreciate when you do that.
Yeah, you said it like they're the only... Like, you guys are shit, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah,
we keep...
You're great.
Up the roller coaster, man.
That's right.
And it never stops. Because there is no climax.
Definitely got to check sexual content on this one.
It's all about love, Cyphus.
So until next time, this is Cyphus for Ursinity, Wazoo, and Blowland saying good luck and Godspeed.
In a pickle, Cyphus won't help.